Hello, it's me again. In the previous course, we have seen what was the history of content that had historical basis that developed the concept of web content. Now, it is important to start translating this evolution into what is today, for example, managing content within a source code. First, let's try to understand better how to manage a web page and ask questions like Stewart branded at that time. Where do the spiders read the information? What are the tags that guide us in evaluating a keyword? What are the rules in writing tags? There are 6 tags to use on a web page that are intended for the calculation of semantics. Let's discover them one by one, associating them with the principles rules of writing. The absolute first is the URL and should be written in up to 6 words max. The second tag to be used must be the tag H1, which should be the same as URL as a rule. Following the logical construction of a web page, we have the meta title, which should be written up to 60 characters. And if we want to be very precise, we can say the maximum of 58 characters if you use a site for a mobile, because the mobile view is of 2 characters reduced in the meta title. Continuing to search for the fundamental tags where we have semantics, the H2 tag is very often underestimated in semantics, but in reality, it is very important. We can also assert that the bulk of the work absolves meta title in H2. The tag H2 has a capacity of 120 characters. It is the principle in communicating the semantics. Our paragraph, which is the actual text, should have an extension of about 1,400 characters maximum. Spiders love the speed of scanning, and the pages that are not too exhaustive and long are always highly appreciated. In this course, and this you will see later, we will teach you how to write extremely performing pages attesting you around with 600 characters, about 100 words to produce pages that for the spiders represent perfection. Finally, we end the tag's discovery with a classic meta description. A tag to be placed in up to 160 characters even if its extension was brought as acceptable by the spiders to 320 characters. These tags and their application rules from a practical point of view, we will find out better during the course in what are the reverse engineering analysis that you will learn to do well. Do not worry for now, just try to complete a path of information as our lesson escalates and accelerates during the actual realization. Now, let's think the basic of communication are. Because if a page at the semantic level has to be written in a certain way, the question to ask will be, and how do I communicate my page to the engines? The communication of semantics contained in the pages is done through the sitemap. The sitemap is a commonly used instrument that nowadays almost all modern CMS have, and yet we forget an absolutely fundamental rule in its use. If we have a multilingual site, we need to manage semantic communication with a language sitemap. Using the same sitemap for more than one language is a big mistake that's still very often done today. In these 2 slides, we have summarized very quickly but in a very precise way what has been the evolution of the concept of content until today, and we are beginning to understand the fundamental concepts for the success of a good project to position. Tag must have our page in use and with what tools we have to communicate to the engines. Now that we are starting to learn the basic, it is important to continue our journey with the next lesson where we will begin to better understand the fundamental concepts of the modern SEO, which is very important base that will begin to introduce you into the environment of the professionals. This is the end of our lesson on content evolution. See you on the next. Bye.